everybody, I'm Tom Vasel, and today we're going to talk about my top 10 favorite werewolf roles. I like playing werewolf. You've seen a lot of werewolf on this channel, and some of these roles most of the roles are from Ultimate Werewolf. I used the terminology there that Ted Alspach and Bezier Games put together, realizing that they might be called and named somewhere else. So I'm not really showing off the stuff, I'm just talking about it, but these are my favorite. So here we go. Number 10 is the Tanner. I know not everyone likes the Tanner because there's a lot of debate on, does the game end or does the Tanner win beside somebody else? The Tanner just wants to die. I like throwing the Tanner in games occasionally because the Tanner is a character that you're always, like, anytime someone acts overly suspicious, you're like, are they the Tanner? Are they trying to die? And it's just a lot of fun. But I do get that can sometimes throw the game off, so I don't use it all the time. Number 9 is the Old Hag, or the Old Woman. This person kicks someone out of the village the next day. I've always enjoyed this role. Some people find it a little chaotic, and it also doesn't really do anything for anybody. But what happens is this person can't be killed, but they also can't communicate. And it just adds a little bit of interesting parts to the game. Like, okay, that person was kicked out. Sometimes it helps a person from being killed during the day. Sometimes it's a way to stop someone who's overly talkative by getting them out of the village, and it changes the dynamic. I just find it to be fascinating. Number 8 is the Idiot. This person always votes guilty. Now, this is a tricky one to pull off. This one's best if you don't tell the players this role exists, because then this person has to justify why they vote down for everybody. This one is very, very fragile, in my opinion, and it depends on how you do voting and stuff, because after a while people are like, you always vote to kill people. This person likely might get killed. Number 7 is the Drunk. So the Drunk is kind of a role that's outside the game. In essence, the Drunk doesn't know their role until 3 days in. But I really like this one. If you find that your village team pinpoints the werewolves too quickly, the Drunk is a good person to put in because they don't learn their role till day 3. So the Seer might look at someone who's a werewolf, but they don't know they're a werewolf till night 3, so the Seer sees them as innocent. This whole kind of, or what happened to this role? Why haven't they done anything? It's kind of an interesting concept, and I like using it a lot. Number 6 is the Lone Wolf. So the werewolves are trying to kill everybody. The Lone Wolf only wins if they're by themselves, which is just a little bit of twist there, right? They want the other wolves to die. They might even accuse them during the day. And if the werewolves know there's a lone wolf and they know they're not the lone wolf, sometimes the werewolves do a bit of infighting with each other because the lone wolf can't win unless they're by themselves. And that just causes a little bit of chaos, which I find to be very enjoyable. Number 5 is Chupacabra. Chupacabra hunts werewolves. I'll play Chupacabra sometimes with a lot of werewolves, and a Chupacabra is trying to kill the werewolves. Once the werewolves are gone, the Chupacabra starts killing villagers. So the villagers like the Chupacabra. They're on their team for a while, but they do want the Chupacabra to die at some point. This just adds a little bit more chaos into the game. Number 4 is the Hunter. One of the most generic roles, but I've always enjoyed it. With the bodyguard protecting and people figuring out everything, the Hunter moment is always a tense moment in the whole game. The Hunter gets killed, they immediately pick one other person to die, and everyone just freezes. Like, who are they going to kill? And sometimes it's amazing. They're like, yes, you took out a werewolf, and sometimes they kill the Seer. I also, in my games, I often play with a werewolf hunter. Same thing. When they die, they can take somebody out. And they're going to take out a villager for sure. So I just like that. That's just so interesting. Number 3 for me is the Sasquatch. I think I like this role more than other people do for sure. But the Sasquatch turns into a werewolf if the villagers don't vote to kill someone during the day. Far be it from me to promote people killing during the day, but in werewolf it's a good thing, and you want to see the game move on, and the Sasquatch is a way to do so. And it keeps people from gaming the system. Number 2 is the Mad Scientist. I like the Mad Scientist. They switch 2 roles at night. So they'll take this role and switch it with this role. Or 2 people. I'm sorry, they switch 2 people. And then everything is reversed. So if the werewolves target this person, they kill this person instead. So that's kind of, the first time I put this in the game, it was more of a silly a thing to see what would happen. But then I combined it with the anarchist, and the anarchist at the beginning of the game picks 4 people. If those 4 people die, then the anarchist and mad scientist win the game. The anarchist shares this list with the mad scientist, but that's it. It really changes the game. I played a few games of this online. It's one of my favorite ways. It's a third team that's a lot of fun. And my number 1 is Frankenstein. Frankenstein's monster. Anyway, Frankenstein's monster gets all the special roles from other people when they die. I don't know what it is. I always include this in games, and it just gives the village team it feels less random. Because you're like, the seer died, we know that Frankenstein's not a seer. The hunter died, Frankenstein's a hunter. Now, yes, Frankenstein can get killed early on, and which changes things, but it still feels like there's a small bit of a buffer in there. And it just works really well. So those are my 10 favorite roles in Werewolf. Let me know what yours are in the comments. Until next time, I'm Tom Vasel, and we've been talking about Werewolf or Mafia on the Dice Tower.